We're going to Mexico. That is crazy. I never would have thought that you'd have to show your passport only on the way back.
Yeah, I think I remember that actually now.
Really? Anytime I've gone to Canada, you show it going in and out. That's surprising to me.
Welcome to Mexico. Look at this assortment. This is not spicy, the rest is spicy. Then we got tons of limes. 4 different salsas and a whole bowl of limes and then a lot of chips. So let's do it.
Okay, let's try it. What is that?
It's good. A little spicy.
Really? Very spicy.
Our first time in Mexico and our first time with the horchata. I'd like to see the reaction.
I'm scared. I feel like this is something I would never order. That is really good.
Oh, that's a good horchata.
Do you want me to eat it like this, or do you want me to put it on?
Yeah, put it together. Our first Mexican fajitas. She's using a spork. All right, they are vegetarian. Let's see how they are. Which I was surprised they're vegetarian.
That's good.
Oh yeah, horchata check, fajitas check. All right, we got larges of all of the juices they have. This is the tapache.
Wow, that's good.
That's good too, right?
Yeah,
She likes
really
both
good.
of them.
So we just went to Mexico, had a really good dinner. I had to drive because Bo has Bell's palsy and his eye is kind of messed up. So I had to drive and I almost got us run over because there was no lines on the road. I stressed him out.
That's true.
Sorry. I stressed me out too. It was very, I don't know, you know, the signs are different, there's no lines on the road, couldn't tell if certain roads were a one-way or not. We're going across the border now. There's a shit ton of traffic. I actually don't know how much traffic, but we're probably gonna be here a bit. Can you see the up there? Or no?
Is that a trick question?
No.
I only have one eye. I can in the eye that I can't use, I cannot close it.
I didn't mean it like that. I was just asking if you're able to like see any like border or anything.
All I see is Jeep and some guy selling chiclets.
Here?
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's people selling stuff. This guy in the F-150's got two mattresses in his truck.
And we got juices. A hibiscus one and a pineapple one. Kind of nice to have them here while we're waiting. But yeah, that was my first time driving in Mexico. It was kind of a semi-stressful experience.
It was 15 minutes of mayhem.
It was pretty crazy. There were like some sketchy parts, like sketchy turns. It was like really weird. But I will say, like, the first time I ever drove in Canada, it was a lot easier because it was just a highway. But this was like small little roads and no lanes. Yeah, anyways, we're going back into Texas now and we're gonna go to a really nice campsite tonight. That's like, it's only 37 minutes, but without traffic.
It's BLM land, which I don't really know what that stands for. I think it's like governmental land or whatever that you're able to free camp on. So there's a whole bunch of it in Texas.
That's cool.
I think BLM is Black Lives Matter, but
yeah. Also, the check engine light is on. It was on earlier and now it's on again. So hopefully the car is okay. This guy over here is selling, what's he selling?
it looks like hard burritos.
Hard burritos.
Don't know though. Don't want to find out.
Oh, they got a child with them.
That's cool.
Okay, so we just got stopped at the border, and that was an experience. We weren't allowed to film or anything like that, because I totally would have. That's the thing. She saw the camera. She's like, yeah, absolutely no filming.
Not only could we not film, but we couldn't watch them dissect the car.
Yeah, they told us to turn around.
Yeah. So we don't even know if everything is back in here, because they kind of rushed us to leave.
That's like the scary part, is like they could take anything they want.
I had my passport and my wallet, so. But also the other couple things that they said, is they're like questioning the firewood. They're like, where'd you get this firewood? Where'd you get this wood? And I'm like, either Texas or maybe like Western Louisiana. What are you using it for? I'm like, it's firewood. You're not supposed to take wood across the border. I'm like, I didn't say no wood. And then what else? They said, don't you know what's going on with the news right now?
We're like, we don't watch the news.
And they're like, oh, the cartel is going crazy and like, there's a war. I'm like, it seemed really safe. Like, didn't it seem safe?
Yeah, I mean, we did see the National Guard, but like, I've also seen the National Guard before anyway, so it's like, you know.
Plus, like, it made me feel more safe. Like, there's people out there with big guns, so like, if there's a cartel, like, they have like something to fight back, right? Makes you feel more safe, in my opinion.
I just hope that everything is back in the car, because when I was putting stuff back, because they had our food like outside on the table still, they didn't even put everything back.
Nope.
We had to put it back ourselves. And when I was looking in here, everything was like open, like all the bags are open.
Even the tent was open.
Yeah, the tent was open.
I bet it's still open right now.
The girl asked me if there was a suitcase in there. I'm like, it's a rooftop tent.
That always gets them. When they see a lot of stuff in the car and they see this box on top of the tent, they're always like, what is that?
Yeah.
Even back like in 2018 when I went to do this before, the same thing happened to me. It's almost like you feel more unsafe crossing the border back in the United States than I did in Mexico.
It kind of reminded me of like the first time and the only time I ever got pulled over, and they were just asking me 1,001 questions about really stupid shit. The only thing I was worried about was actually I have my brother's ashes with me, so I was like, I mean, I don't know how it is crossing the border, but I know it's like a process to take them on an airplane.
It's just like the feeling that you feel like you're this like crazy foreign like object that's like doesn't have their shit together.
Especially when we're going back into our own country.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, what do you think we were doing? Like going across the border and just like smuggling some Mexicans back into the States?
Probably like 5 different people asked us the same questions.
Oh yeah.
And we're like weird.
I think the firewood question was the funniest. He was like, what are you using this firewood? What are you using this wood for? I'm like...
And they made me stand outside the car while you went in through the x-ray thing, and I'm over there freezing.
I'm sure that x-ray thing just like rocked my brain with friggin' crazy amount of radiation. So now I already got one eye, dead eye Ernie over here. Now I'm like radioactive Bo.
Radioactive.
So,
I feel like I'm hyped up on sugar right now. Because I drank this really quickly when we were
You should have heard them. Where did you go to dinner? What did you order? I was like, I don't know. If they if you weren't there and they asked me what I ordered, I would have been like, I don't know, some tortillas with like mushrooms inside. They almost acted like we were crazy for hopping the border to grab some good food and to come back, and then we were crazy for like going on a road trip for a month. It's like
it's not a very common thing apparently.
It's like like I said, like we're some foreign entities that are like aliens to them. Weird is like they should see that all the time. They work at the border. So is it us that's weird?
I think that they have to like kind of like pressure and question you like that, because not because they are like stupid and they don't think that this is normal, but because when they're putting people under pressure, they normally crack over something. So it's like, it's almost like if you were to get questioned by the FBI for something, or like if you were to get questioned by a police officer, they pressure you because when you're under stress, you might be more susceptible to like saying something off. But we had nothing to hide.
Yeah, well,
we have carrots.
The one question they asked is, do you have money? You're like, no. Like, it's really fast. And I was like, well, I got like at least $100 on me, so that's something. You know what I mean? Like, that's
they
probably...
asked me. They didn't ask you.
You said, I don't, but he might have something. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be like super honest with them, in my opinion. Not that would have like helped us at all, but when you were like, no, like super fast. like yeah, we just went to Mexico, we're on a road trip, we have no cash on us.
Well, I don't carry cash usually.
Well, it's not a good idea when you're going across the border. You gotta have something. When you go to a foreign country, you gotta have something.
You're right.
It doesn't matter if it's your own currency, like you need to have some sort of cash.
Yeah, that was our experience going over the border. Going in, we didn't even have to show our passport going in.
Nope.
But going out, it was like going in, it was interesting because they did stop us. Like, not like that.
They just said 250.
No, but the guy had you roll down your window after that.
Oh yeah, and then I spoke Spanish to him.
Yeah, and I was like shocked. I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't know you could speak like that.
I can speak Spanish under pressure.
It was like a full-on conversation. I was like, whoa. I was grateful for that because honestly, I would have been like Google translating. But yeah, that was our experience going into Mexico and going across the border. That was probably the most of a hassle I've ever had going across any border.
And you know what's funny? The last time I did this, like I said, 2018, the same exact thing happened. Everything the same, except they made me throw out my apples. And it was funny, I asked him, I told him about the situation, and he's like, oh yeah, you can't bring apples. And I was like, okay, so that means like we have carrots, so does that mean we can't bring carrots? He goes, oh no, carrots are okay.
So what's the difference between apples and carrots?
Okay, you know that saying like apples and oranges? It's more like apples and carrots.
I feel like it definitely depends on who you talk to, because when I went into Costa Rica the first time, I brought in bananas. But the second time I went to Costa Rica, they made me throw out my bananas. Honestly, I'm really happy that we ate the apples already, because if they made us throw those apples out, I'd probably be sitting there eating them too. Yeah. Because apples are fire.
Yeah, especially the Honey Crisps.
Yeah, those are good.
But, I mean, there were some cool guys. Like, we talked to one guy about, like, you know, camping and hiking and stuff. Yeah. So it kind of like we cracked one.
Oh, and he did mention the white sands, which we're going to.
These roads are the most difficult roads I've ever driven on.
Yeah, I think so. We're leaving the Subaru dealership. Bo's car is sick and we don't know what's wrong with it. We have a loaner car.
My heart's bumping.
What are we gonna do?
We gotta go around. You nervous?